Welcome to King Said So, Africa's one land, one language, one currency, one army on King Said So. Africans can unite. Your Pan-Africanist podcast. Enjoy.
Thank you very much, Program Director. Amanja. Thank you very much, Program Director. To the President, we know very well, President, that you've been working very hard this whole week in the Western Cape, collecting all the issues. We're requested here today to just address the youth on few issues. When we were elected, we made a commitment that will hold the ANC-led government accountable. On top of our agenda was the issue of youth unemployment, and we've declared the crisis. And everyone here, almost all the speakers, they're complaining about one thing which is youth unemployment, crime, poverty, gender-based violence, gangsterism, and many other issues, including NEFSAS. We made a call, President, at which it was responded to. We said, as part of the urgent intervention, we request the Minister of Employment to avail resources to reskill the youth to respond to the economic demands of their own area. You made a pronouncement, President, as a response to that, because since you've arrived in office, it's very important that we also highlight to the youth that all the pronouncements the Youth League has made, most of them, the President responded to them. One of the issues is that the President has set aside 21 billion for skills development that will assist close to 2 million young people as one of the intervention. The second one that we mentioned when we arrived in office, we said, President, the youth and the students are complaining about the corruption at NEFSAS. That NEFSAS is not giving them the stipends on time. People who are not supposed to benefit are benefiting. Those who are supposed to benefit are not benefiting. We called upon the minister when we arrived and said, the minister, dissolve the board of NEFSAS and put an administrator in place to assist the process. The President listened again. As we speak now, the board of NEFSAS is dissolved. There is an administrator in place to resolve the issue of corruption at NEFSAS. Now, I felt that I must make these examples. We also spoke about that it's unacceptable, President, that we've got unemployed doctors. When there's too many clinics, there's too many hospitals that have got shortages of doctors. Even after that, if you have been analyzing those who are medical doctors, posts were advertised everywhere for doctors to apply and be employed to be placed in different hospitals. But we said more must be done. We came with solutions of unemployment. We said to the President, we're a country that is rich of raw materials. Now these raw materials can be exported as raw as they are to go and create employment for Europeans who have no raw materials while Africans are unemployed. We said that, President, put export quotas. Not more than 70% of raw materials must leave this country. These raw materials must remain in this country to revive industries, to create employment and business opportunities for the youth, because these are raw materials that are given to them by God to resolve their socio-economic problems. If you have listened to the President in most of his address, he agrees with the Youth League that export quotas are urgent to resolve problems, because the raw materials must remain here to resolve the problems of the youth. Another issue that must be addressed, especially here in the Western Cape. In the Western Cape is two countries in one. It's a province of the rich and a province of the extreme poor. If you go to Cape Town, you will think you're in Europe. But when you come to Langa and Khayelitsha, you see face of apartheid. Now, that is caused when a wrong government is given power to govern. A Western Cape is governed by a national party that camouflages as the DA. It's a government that only serves the minorities only. It's a government that divides our people, that reverses the gains of freedom. It's a government that divides people according to their colors, whether you are colored, black, or white. It is not a government that unites our people. And I felt that I must make this point because the ANC is the only political party that has a clear agenda of nation building. That's why even today, when we had our press briefing as the Youth League, we spoke against tribalism. I know in some areas might have been misquoted, but we said that the ANC will not participate in any way to mobilize people according to tribal ways, the way IFP is doing and MK is doing. Because the ANC's role is to unite people behind one nation, which is South Africa. But the president was saying also to the president that post the elections, all our demands must be met. Because the youth of the country will go out in numbers to vote for the ANC because it's the only political party that they believe will resolve their problems. But if that is not resolved, President, the youth here, led by myself, I will mobilize them to the union building to demand that the promises that are made, if they're not implemented, we are going to camp there at the union building until all our demands are met. But we believe that we have a listening president. That's why we're saying that the ANC must be given second term under his leadership. We've seen that after the Nkandla corruption collapsed, we've seen that SARS is doing very well. We've seen that ESCOM is improving. We've seen that Transnet is improving. Because all those state entities, most of them were collapsed by criminal elements that are camping in Nkandla. When we delivered the renewal projects, most of these criminal elements left, and we saw the improvement of state-owned entities. And that we must acknowledge, President, because it's a commitment that we've made that when you come to office, you will fight against corruption and clean out all the rot and make sure that even the energy security is resolved. As we're seated here, we have lights here pumped by ESCOM. Few months ago, we had a strong load shedding. And the President, through the Minister of Energy, committed that by this time, the issue of the energy crisis will be resolved. Now, President, ours was to greet and acknowledge and to say that continue being a president that listens, and whenever we are dissatisfied, we'll mobilize young people to come to the union building and make sure that our demands are heard. Thank you.